So there's Sporkenheimer and Darkrider, and we're back for another bit of Star Wars Republic Commando Recruiter.
Yeah. Over a year sustained fighting. You know,
maybe if they didn't like garrison all their troops in the Star Destroyers and actually put them out in the front lines, they wouldn't be stretched so thin.
Well, they did. The problem is like, the thing that I don't really understand about the Clone Wars is that they've created a crap ton of content in all of 4 years. So the timeline between 2, 3, and all of the cartoon stuff in between is incredibly short. And it's kind of hard to see where all of this fits in at the same time.
10 years went by in between The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. And now when it's like, maybe a year went by in between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith.
No, it was 4.
Maybe 4 years went by in between those two movies.
Yeah, it was really short. Which is why the original Clone Wars cartoon made by that studio that does Samurai Jack. Yeah, they did really short episodes of like 2 seasons, and they had to tell a lot in a short amount of time. But then after that, when they came out with the CGI Clone Wars, and they gave Anakin his apprentice, like, everything just kind of felt a lot more stretched out than it should have been. And that was confusing.
God, have you heard the rumors that Hayden Christensen's gonna make a comeback for Episode 8?
Oh, I please hope not.
Like, God, if you're listening, please smite Hayden Christensen.
Why would he ever need to make a return? Why?
Like, he's a B-movie actor. I mean, the movie Jumper, I suppose that's a good premise, but poorly executed.
Yeah, most of the movies that he's done since Star Wars has been... Yeah.
Has he done anything before Star Wars?
If he did, then I wouldn't know about it. But everybody has to start somewhere. Like, all the famous actors have that weird...
Aside from Star Wars, he's actually a really obscure actor. Like, Star Wars aside.
Well, yeah, that's the thing that put him on the map, but that still makes him a B-movie actor.
And, like... I mean, Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill are by far A-movie actors.
Yeah.
And Mark Hamill isn't even really all that much of an actor anymore. He does more voice acting than anything else.
Yeah, and it's a varied role. So, I mean, at least he's one of the few actors who became an iconic figure and managed to get out of that shell. Like, you know how...
Also, Harrison Ford.
Yeah, that's true.
And Carrie Fisher, she's like a really famous author.
Yeah, definitely.
And the guy who played Chewbacca gets paid 0 royalties.
Which freaking sucks.
God, that, like, I have so much sympathy. I only feel pity for that guy. Like, that must suck. And Chewbacca's the most popular character, too. Aside from, like, Boba Fett.
Honestly, it's just fun. Yeah, I mean, there are few people who've been wildly successful off of it, and the few people who get shafted, which... It always sucks.
Well, I mean, like, I heard someone I know who's a stunt coordinator. He has a friend who was the stunt double for Count Dooku in Attack of the Clones, and he got to be a Jedi in the assault in the Colosseum in Geonosis, which is just all kinds of badass. But
they had to have a ton of extras for that massive scene, which was awesome.
But he said that, like, basically the reason that the original trilogy of Star Wars was so good was that George Lucas's wife was a script editor, and so George had all these like wild and crazy ideas, and his wife was just sitting there, "No, George, you can't do that. Pull it back a little bit," and blah blah. And so she was the reason that the first 4 movies did so well, or she was the primary reason they did so well. And like, because if she hadn't been there, like, it would have been a 1-movie flop.
Likely. I mean, there had to be somebody to ease that. Use a lot of that just kind of creative energy. You need that kind of tempering.
Yeah.
Which you don't generally see in most of the post-production, but you definitely, when it comes to making games, have to get that sort of grounded sense of where you need to go and bring the concept back down to earth, essentially.
I think what happened with the prequel movies is that when George Lucas divorced his wife, he got Hollywood in the divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the brutal part of
Yeah, so
all that.
So I am like very, very, and I'm sure I can speak for all Star Wars fans when I say this. I'm glad that George Lucas no longer has any say with with how the new Star Wars movies are produced. Like I'm glad that J.J. Abrams is directing the new Star Wars movie, but I'm like cautiously excited.
Right.
Like J.J. Abrams, he's a good director. I mean,
his content is interesting.
I like the Star Trek reboots were kind of hit and miss with the hardcore fans.
Yeah, because I mean they did explain that it was an alternate universe, which I appreciated. He actively said, yeah, this isn't a part of any of the official timeline. But it's different with Star Wars. He is actually rewriting a whole bunch of the canon that a whole bunch of excellent authors ended up writing for over the decades.
If they did abide by that canon, they would have to pay the authors a metric shit ton of royalties.
Yeah, which wouldn't be bad. I mean,
yeah, Star Wars is worth a lot of money.
Yeah, and I think with all of the hard work that they did, they certainly deserve it. I don't see why they shouldn't have that kind of money, given how much and how hard that they worked for it. I mean, what they did was impressive. They made a universe out of 3 movies, and that is incredibly impressive.
Well, didn't Mass Effect do that with 1 game?
They did. But that's a video game, and that's completely different, right? I mean,
fair enough.
With Mass Effect, they had...
Halo did that with 2 games.
They did. The first game was okay.
Well, I mean, the first game was, like, revolutionary. It redefined...
It was mostly the video game, like, the aspects of the mechanics that
revolutionized first-person shooters on consoles.
Right.
But it wasn't until the second game when they're like, oh, hey, look, plot.
Yeah. Well, they had somewhat of a plot, but it was always in the cutscenes, right?
Well, no, the plot was basically just the aliens are evil, they want to, like, destroy the universe. Hey, look, zombies, go kill everything that's not human. America.
Right. I mean, and most sci-fi games kind of go that direction, too. Mass Effect was one of the few that was like, yeah, actually, you're in a massive community that really managed to kind of immerse you in that universe.
Yeah, like Mass Effect is, hey, look, politics! Blah, 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 blah.
Well, also just alien worlds in general, too. Like, exploration, different cultures. Right. They got almost all of that. And they had some excellent gameplay. And just kind of, again, getting the writers to actually... Wow, that must be really hot. To immerse you in a world that the writers were envisioning. Like, it felt as much as a story experience as much as it was a video game. And they combined both elements very successfully well, and it worked well off of BioWare's reputation for making the Knights of the Old Republic as well, so...
Right.
They really did get off of that.
Yeah, like, one thing I would love to see, like, a new Star Wars game of would be, like, something that's kind of akin to Republic Commando, but, like, maybe focuses more on the Galactic Civil War, like, maybe, the Imperial Commandos, or, like, Renegade Squadron, or, for the Alliance or something, where, like, it's like a first-person shooter, like, really kind of gritty and dark first-person shooter.
Yeah.
But you're Renegade Squadron, so it's like, it's like exclusively, like, guerrilla warfare. It's like, you're not even doing this. You're, like, sneaking around in back alleys, or in trenches or something. I don't know. These are all bad examples, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, the Republic Commandos, like, they did, like, I mean, even though they lost Sev, like, they carried over into the Imperial Corps, and they became the Imperial Commandos, but, and, I mean,
not that they really had much of a job after that.
Well, I think, what's the name of the guy, in the blue and, yellow armor?
Blue and yellow?
Spark? No, not Spark. Sart? No. Starts with an S. No, he's the sniper. The one with the, big...
Scorch?
Scorch, that's it, yeah.
He's mostly yellow.
Yeah, he said, like, I think, yeah, he said that, when he joined the Imperial Corps, he actually, like, really, really hated it.
I mean, there's just nothing left for them really to do. They were kind of legacy, even if they were elite. And that was and knowing what they used to fight for, and now, I mean, it seems all messed up.
Like everything got turned on its head.
Fair. I mean, that's basically what happened with all of the, with all of the changes to the Republic military, to the Imperial Doctrine, and how ruthless they all became.
Well, I mean, I read up on like basically, Stormtrooper training is almost more mental than it is physical. They freaking brainwashed the Stormtroopers.
I mean, they had to. There was no other way of going about it, I would think, because, I mean, how do you instill a crap ton of loyalty inside soldiers that are not clones and not bred for it?
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, basically, like, Stormtrooper training is like Hell Week 24/7.
Fair.
It's like 10 weeks of Hell Week, basically. Oh, hey, it's R2D2. Oh, no.
Or an R2 model that's green.
Green, yeah.
What was he even doing around here? Doesn't he notice all of the crap that's going down? Just chilling there?
Yeah, like a bunch of like Trandoshan midgets running around.
Okay, stop.
Like Trandoshan gremlins with kukri knives.
Oh, you little gremlin, stop.
Although, I mean, they have about the same build as a gremlin, but they're your height, which is kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, they're all hunched over, so.
Well, that's true.
For whatever reason.
Well, I mean, to be fair, all the Republic Commandos are hunched over as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, it's a R4.
Yep.
No, it's not an R4 model.
It's the one that blew up before the.
Had like overheating problems or something.
Yeah.
God, this is like.
Oh shit.
This is sad. I know like all the not all of them, but I know like some of the different astromech models and what the pros and cons of each are. Like, how much of a nerd am I?
What? That's awesome.
Well, I mean,
you don't
like,
hear of that stuff nowadays.
Well, I mean, like, I've also like carried debates with people, where we were discussing the relative merits of lightsaber resistant
Yeah,
metals.
which is
Like, there's
always
like
useful.
frick, cortosis,
Yep.
and there's one other one.
Beskar, which is
yeah.
Mandalorian iron. Oh, come on, man. Honestly.
Yeah, like frick, if you had it as like a solid, like if you had a blade of solid torcosis, that would short out the lightsaber.
Yeah, but it was also extremely brittle, so as soon as
It was like obsidian. It would like shatter if you so much as breathed on it.
Yeah.
So that's like they'd have to weave the cortosis into like a vibroblade or something.
That's generally what they did.
Like frick was used when developing the Dark Trooper armor. So,
Yes. Partially.
Yeah, like did they have to weave that as well, or was that just solid?
I'm pretty sure that was probably weaved into because
Well, it's
it would
more
do nothing against blasters, right? So
well, it's also probably more economical because
Yeah.
lightsaber resistant. I can imagine that being extremely flippin' expensive.
it is. I mean, it's a fairly rare material as far as things go.
Oh, those are mines. Yeah, you
those
want
are
to disarm those.
Yeah, I should probably shoot those.
Or disarm them.
You can disarm them?
Well, yeah, you keep getting that icon.
Yeah, that's true. Is that by like remote or something?
No, I think you have to like
crouch.
Yeah, crouch and get near.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, all right, where's Sav? Oh, did he get taken away? Come on, man.
They're coming to take me away. Haha.
Oh gosh. I mean, you don't really hear much. I'm most curious to see what they're going to say. What happened after the Death Star blew up? Like, what happened to the Imperial fleet?
Oh, the Imperial Remnant, as the name implies,
Well, it's not a remnant anymore because the rebellion has been renamed the Resistance, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So it's a little bit different. The Empire still managed to retain its authority.
You're talking about the new canon in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea.
Which is interesting. I wonder how they're going to explain that, because at the end of 6 and the extended edition...
Like, there were allegedly no more Sith after that.
Right. Well, I mean, there were still Force Acolytes. Even the expanded universe before The Force Awakens had that. You had Lumia, you had Mara Jade.
You had Jason Solo.
Well, he was trained under Lumia. That was how that all connected together.
Spoiler alert, Jason Solo becomes a Sith Lord.
I mean, it's been years now.
Yeah, spoiler alert for a book that's been out for God how long?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know about anything about the expanded universe at that point, you're either fresh off the boat or...
I still love how Jaina Solo actually went to Mandalore and got Boba Fett to train her so that she could kill Jason better.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's pretty much what was needed at that point. And then Han got Boba Fett's freaking crush gaunts made out of Beskar, which is pretty freaking.
Well, no,
epic.
actually, like the thing, like Han's relationship with Boba Fett is that they're like frenemies, like they had you're familiar with how the story of how Boba Fett abducted Han so that he could help him kill a political figurehead.
Yeah, there was a lot of crazy stuff that they did after that, where it's just like,
was
I'm
like
not really
Boba
hunting
Fett's-
you anymore, but at the same time...
Like Boba Fett's like granddaughter wanted to kill Boba because she had mommy issues or something, and no, but the thing was like they finally just came to an agreement where it's like, okay, look, I was hunting you as part of a contract, but now I'm just gonna hunt you for sport because otherwise, I'm a soldier by trade, or I'm a bounty hunter by trade. It's what I do. It's in my blood. I'm gonna be bored if I'm not hunting you. So let's just keep doing what we do. And Han's like, yeah, sure. I admittedly I'd be kind of bored too. So yeah.
I mean, there's just nothing else to do, and
yeah, I mean,
Han was always on and off when it came to the New Republic, even.
Yeah, I mean, there were even instances when Boba Fett was on the side of the New Republic.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
he got hired by... Oh, shit.
They outbid the Empire or something.
But yeah, we don't even know if Boba Fett's gonna make a return or not.
Well, I mean, or he's gonna be back in, the Battle of Jakku in, Battlefront.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, you saw the trailer for
Oh,
that.
yeah, that's right. I almost forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah, so, I mean, that's the only consistent part of canon that carries over is that he survived the Sarlacc pit.
Right. Well, that we know thus far. We don't know how much they're going to change or replace, whether it's in the New Republic era or... I mean, yeah, we just don't even know what kind of era these...
I mean, where the fuck did Kylo Ren come from?
I have no idea. I mean, they just introduced him out of the blue, right? So I hope that they work him within existing canon and they don't start rewriting things crazy.
The fact that he just has the burned mask of Darth Vader, how much dark side energy do you think would have to be emanating from that mask?
Probably not much, given that Anakin lost most of his Force potential after Obi-Wan freaking sliced most of his body parts off and he was replaced by
Still, he killed a lot of people.
He did, but that's because they were... Well, I mean, for Jedi, he knew the Jedi well, and he was skilled in lightsaber combat. It wasn't really through any particular mastery of the Force that I think he actually got over it.
Well, the thing is, Palpatine, when he put that armor on Anakin, he was actually, limiting him from the very start. Inside of that universe, the armor that he put on him was actually out of date. It was obsolete armor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Palpatine wanted to give him, the heaviest, clunkiest armor to make it, unwieldy and impractical for him to do any sort of natural movements, because he was afraid of Anakin rising up and killing him.
I suppose that
when you think about it, Anakin should have gotten the Sith Stalker armor, because that was around at that time.
The Stalker armor?
Yeah.
I am not familiar with that.
The Force Unleashed, right?
Yeah. Oh, the one that Starkiller gets if you go
dark side.
Yeah.
That's the armor Anakin should have gotten.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where did you get that information? I actually never heard of that before.
Wikipedia.
Oh.
I just read the article on Darth Vader just out of boredom.
Curious.
And yeah, the armor that he got was actually vastly out of date. I mean, think about it this way. He had a big ass fucking control panel on his chest.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean that, even for Star Wars, that seems a little out of place for armor.
Fair enough. Oh god. He was supposed to be more a picture of terror than he was actually supposed to be.
The Sith Stalker armor looks a lot more intimidating than Darth Vader's armor, from an objective standpoint.
The mouthpiece, though.
The mouthpiece looked, on the Sith Stalker armor, kind of reminds me of the Bushka mouthpiece that Leia had to wear when she infiltrated Jabba's palace.
Yeah. I can see that.
Seeing how it's actually the exact same mouthpiece.
Right.
Or it's actually the same style of helmet. Or visor and mouthpiece. It's just the shape of the helmet's different.
Curious.
But yeah, I mean, like, they had the technology, but, like Palpatine was just being very, very cautious, because he knew better than anyone else how powerful Anakin was. And so he's like, well, if shit goes wrong, he could kill me fairly easily.
Yeah,
so,
and he admitted that to Yoda too. Anakin's more powerful than either of us.
Yeah.
At least at the time, before the whole Battle of the Heroes happened at Mustafar.
Yeah, before Anakin got, like, royally fucked.
Yeah.
At which point, like, would that have gone to prove... That's a sentence. Did that go to prove that Obi-Wan was actually stronger, since he did kind of...
He was better-minded and was more efficient with his abilities than Anakin was.
He was also, like, more in control, I would say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the whole way of the Jedi, right?
Right.
It's, like, mastering yourself, essentially.
Yeah, but still, I would go Sith, basically, because I enjoy feeling emotion. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I mean, you could always go the Jedi Exile route then, and KOTOR 2, where it's like, you're not quite a Jedi, but you can still value the principles that they go through and understand why.
Why, yeah.
Because you are connected to all life around the world, and that gives you kind of a hefty responsibility. You can't be...
Yeah, I mean, like, the Jedi, they're basically just, like, Shaolin monks.
Yeah,
they're
essentially.
They're Buddhist monks.
Pretty much.
They're like, I mean, like, what's the Jedi creed? Like, something, like, there is no emotion, only peace. Come on.
Yeah.
Like...
It doesn't get much more, serene or tranquil than that.
Yeah, it's like while someone's reciting the Jedi creed, like, there should be someone playing, like, a Tibetan bowl in the background.
Yeah, right. I'm excited, actually, in the next movie for the space battles, because that looks freaking amazing.
It really does.
I'm excited to see what they come up with for that, because it's going to be so ridiculous in 3D. Totally worth the money.
IMAX 3D. Oh, ooh, it's
going to be glorious.
I'm excited, yeah.
That's going to be pretty epic. More victim. No, screw that. Get out of here. Back up, bro.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Back it up. Back it up.
I am pumping that shotgun. That means I'm not messing.
It's common knowledge that stormtroopers can't hit anything worth a damn.
Yeah, to save their life, quite literally.
But it's like, it's actually, like, common knowledge that the stormtrooper helmets, like, it was impossible to see anything out of them.
Yeah.
I think that might have contributed to their problem.
Yeah, they probably should have. Well, I mean, it's supposed to be more protective than, say, just an open helmet, where if you get shot in the face, well, it's just GG.
Well, I mean, they can
right?
still make the visor bigger.
They could. But then that would make, like, it more vulnerable, right? The larger that you make the visor.
Yeah, but headshots are difficult to get.
I mean, it's like guerrilla.
In an open combat scenario,
which the rebels tended to avoid. I mean, they favored snipers because, I mean, you don't know until you get shot, right? It's that kind of whole guerrilla tactic thing of, oh, well, hey,
also
by the way,
thing
I'm
is,
here.
like a stormtrooper could die if he gets shot in the fucking like thigh or something.
Well, if they get the joints between the armor, then I mean, it's all over
like
for
even
you.
like no, like there are plenty of scenes in the Star Wars original trilogy where it's like they get shot in the breastplate, like which is like probably a thick piece of armor.
Yeah,
they die. Like what good's the armor if it doesn't protect you from that kind of thing?
Yeah, I have no idea. Oh God, stop shooting at me, man. There we go. Oh boy. I mean, I don't know, because the rebels died much the same way. It's just that they were better at getting shot. I guess it's the difference between some protection and mobility and no protection whatsoever. Because I feel like...
I'm gonna move.
Yeah. I think because in a lot of those kind of situations, a lot of people actually end up preferring mobility because they feel like, well, if I can't move, I'm just going to die.
Well, I mean, like,
Get
one
shot
thing I
anyway.
kind of, like, I played the Star Wars Battlefront beta,
Yeah.
and, like, the AC-280, I think it is, the rifle that the Rebels had,
Yeah.
that's basically the AK-47 of Star Wars.
It's just
like,
cheap manufactured.
It had a very AK-47 feel to it.
Nice.
Whereas the E11, I actually started to use the E11 more as the beta came to a close.
Right.
That's just because like it had a lower fire rate but higher damage output.
Yeah. So if you were more of that marksman kind of guy. Then...
Well, I mean, I found it easier like because with the AC-280, it was like it felt more of like a spray and pray weapon. Whereas like with the E11, it kind of forced me to like kind of measure my shots and actually follow a target or lead a target a little bit. Where like I actually missed more with the AC-280 than I did with the E11.
That makes sense. Because it's probably less accurate the more recoil, I guess, you got when you fire.
Maybe.